Hey loves, welcome back to my channel. You know I'm always coming to you with those relatable topics. So if you haven't already, please make sure you go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Tell a friend to tell a friend about my channel. And by the looks of the title, you already know what we're going to be getting into. So let's get right into the video. Alright love, so of course we know that narcissists are very difficult people to understand, but it is not inevitable for you to accomplish, and I'm here to help. So you have some narcissistic men that they dwell on your pain, they dwell on your confusion, they dwell on your mental anguish, your state of emotional your emotional distress. Okay, your level of emotional distress to them is like, it's like reassurance for them, and it's quite sad, yes, but that is the way how they operate. And therefore you have to understand that in order to actually be in a relationship with one, if you choose to stay. But if you don't choose to stay, then of course you just leave and you don't have to put up with it. But for the people that are very much aware that you are in a relationship with a narcissist and you feel like it is too late for you to leave, you feel like you are doomed, you feel like you're stuck, this video is for you. It is very imperative for you to recognize the fact that you need to always attempt to maintain your femininity. Okay, your femininity is what's gonna give you leadway in this relationship with the narcissist, because the minute you start to become defensive, the minute you start to become abrasive, the minute you start to become quote unquote this I don't give a fuck attitude anymore, that is going to cause things to go completely left for you in your relationship, and not in a good way. Okay, what you want to do is you want to maintain a solid foundation with this narcissist and allow him to feel like he completely has you wrapped around his finger, because the more you allow him to feel that way and dwell in such control over you, is the more you'll have peace, is the more you'll be able to thrive around him, and it's the more he'll make sure that you thrive. You see, the thing about narcissists is they want to feel powerful. They want to feel like, she can't replace me, she can't do without me. And in order to do so, they have to have that feeling of, I run this. Okay, so succumbing to that as a woman can be hard. It can be hard on your mental health. It can be hard on you just as a person, as an individual. Okay, it can be hard for you to try to understand, like, how can somebody say they love me but want to control me, right? And so sometimes your pride gets in the way. But I'm here to tell you that you don't need your pride to get in the way at all. In order to really embellish the princess treatment and the man doing right by you and provider man and the whole deal with the narcissist, is to remain sitting pretty and acting as if everything is okay. What I am trying to get you to understand is, the less you fight back, the less you argue, the less you let go of your feminine energy and let go of yourself in the relationship with a narcissist, is the more you'll have actually the upper hand. You see, you have to be smart. You have to think like a narcissist when you are with one, okay? So what you do is you sit back, sit pretty, and allow him to feel like he's running the show, all right? When really you're just taking observation. You're analyzing his every move. You're understanding his thinking process. You're remembering what it takes to push his buttons. You're remembering what it takes to break him down. You're literally sitting back in a role of power without him even realizing it, because now you are not dwelling in your emotions so much rather than before, where you couldn't even think straight to process anything he would say or do to you that you thought was hurtful. Now, in a sense of adversity in your relationship, without taking that real stance of adversity or opposition, I should say, you are rather just saying, okay, I'm going to act as if I am still in love. I'm going to act as if he's still the apple of my eye. I'm going to act as if everything's fine and I'm quite happy and satisfied with this man, even though he just did something to insult me, even though he just did something to hurt my feelings, even though he just disappointed me, even though the sex is horrible and I don't want to have sex with him no more. Because then he's going to feel like, okay, I can still be that man for her. And that's what you want ultimately, right? If you want to continue this relay of subsequent events where he's spoiling you, and you have the holidays and the birthdays and the special events that allow you to feel like you are still his main priority in the relationship. And that's what it all boils down to at the end of the day, is you want to remain feeling like you are it for him, but in actuality you know for a fact that you are not into him anymore. Therefore, he will still try to go out of his way to please you. He will still go out of his way to make sure that you keep that feeling, because the more he allows you to feel special is the more he is able to feel like he controls you. I know it sounds confusing. I know it makes absolutely no sense, but that is the way a narcissist thinks. You could go to a neurologist, you could go to anybody, any other professional, and ask them, and they'll tell you that narcissists think in a way of power. They think in a way of control. It was never, ever any sort of love there, okay? And you'll oftentimes find that women that try to leave a narcissist are the ones that endure the most trauma, because those are the men that are willing to literally say, like, I don't want you, but if I can't have you, nobody else can have you. Those are the type of men that we're dealing with. Just to give you an ideal of the type of extremes they will go to just to maintain control over you. In their eyes, you are just an object that they take care of. That's it. And once you adapt to that, and once you acknowledge it, okay, you'll be better off in the relationship. As far as you feeling stuck though, you are never ever really stuck with anybody, okay? But they have a good way of manipulating and making you feel like the end all be all is with them. Okay, you'll never find no better, okay? Nobody's ever gonna love you the way they love you. Nobody's gonna do the things that I do. Nobody's gonna make you feel the way I make you feel, okay? Nobody's gonna make you feel good the way I do. Things of that nature. This is why I emphasize on your femininity, okay? Because your femininity plays a big part, a major part, on his ability to even feel like you deserve those things. It's very ironic, but a narcissist can literally hate you and still show you affection, show you tender care, because it is appeasing to his ego. And they say a woman that knows any better knows to never come between a man and his ego, okay? And what it really relates to is the simple fact that ego equals power. All men thrive off of their ego, not their heart, not their emotions, but narcissistic men thrive solely off of their ego. So once you understand that concept and how it correlates to the future of your relationship and the dynamic of your relationship, then you will understand that your femininity is so important. Your femininity is what's gonna feed his ego, and that's what you want to do to keep this man doing what it takes to cater to you, mind, body, and soul. And if you're gonna stay so-called stuck in a relationship with a narcissistic man, then you at least want to feel good doing it, right? You at least want to be made a priority. You want to be at least treated like a queen. If you're gonna stay, you might as well. So I say all this to say, be mindful of the fact that your femininity is what's your power when dealing with a narcissistic man. Having an attitude, lashing out, arguing with him, telling him that he's wrong, telling him about his flaws, telling him that he needs to make changes, telling him what to do per se, will only backfire on you in the worst way, okay? You want to sit back and remain graceful, as a woman should, because at the end of the day, you know that you hold the power, and the only way you'll truly understand your power is remaining in your feminine energy. I think a lot of women seem to forget how powerful they really are, and how they literally have the ability to change any dynamic of any relationship that they're in with a man. It doesn't matter if he's a narcissist or not. The way you speak to that man, the way you carry yourself, okay? The way you touch that man, the way you succumb to his sexual desires is all femininity. It's all femininity. And so you will stand out from the rest, and you will remain in control without actually trying to be in control, just by simply being a woman. Remember, in a narcissist's eyes, a woman is just a being that is weak, that is vulnerable, and it is very imperative for you to understand that that's just how he sees you. But you know who you are as a woman, and you know who you are as a person, and you have to stand on that, okay? Stand on that in what? Your femininity. The way you twirl your hair, the way you talk to him, okay? You have to embrace that. That is the only card you have left to play with this narcissist, in order for him to continue to shower you with affection and tender care, to shower you with the quote-unquote respect he thinks you deserve, when really you are basically training this man on how to treat you and how to love you. But he won't see it that way. You catch my drift? Oftentimes you'll find yourself in a predicament where you feel as though this narcissistic man that you're in relationship with is making a deal with you. So it's almost like, if, okay, I'll buy you that Birkin bag if you, or I'll buy you that new TV if you, or you're intimate one night and the next day you find yourself running an errand or a task that he randomly suggested you to do, which makes you feel like it was in course to being intimate, like it was a transaction, like it was a business deal. You'll often find yourselves in that situation with the narcissist if he is catering to you and taking care of you, if he is being a provider to you. You'll always feel like it's not done out of love. It's done as a transaction, as a business deal. And that's okay. I am literally telling you that's okay. I, for one, used to take it very harshly. I used to think, oh my gosh, like, that's so cruel. I used to always be in my feelings. But now, understanding the levels to a narcissist and understanding the levels to a woman, I get it. It's not as bad as it seems, and it's not as bad as it sounds, because in their mind, remember, powerful men, okay, they like to look at everything as a business deal. They like to look at everything as a transaction. So therefore, if he is literally saying to you, oh, I just spent 10 grand on you and I need you to do this, or I just buy you a house and you're gonna do this and you're gonna do that. If he's telling you his expectations after spending money on you, or after doing some grand gesture, or after just doing the bare minimum for you, it's because he recognizes you as his priority. He's literally expressing himself and telling you like, okay, I know that you expect this from me. This is a standard for you. And because I care about you, and it's because you're the leading lady in my life right now, you're the apple of my eye right now, I'm willing to do it. But I'm willing to do it under these terms. Don't argue. Don't cry. Don't take it the wrong way. Remain in your femininity, smile, and say, oh, thank you, baby. Oh, you made me feel so special. Boost his ego. The more you boost a narcissist's ego, is the more he will do for you. Okay? Because he likes that. He likes that. It makes him feel like a man. It makes him feel like he can conquer anything. It makes him feel like he has you wrapped around his finger. I'm telling you, the minute this man feels like he is losing grip on you is the minute he is done with you. He's done with you. He doesn't want you anymore. And if you let that man get to the point where he doesn't want you anymore, you are doomed, sis. Because a breakup with a narcissist is not a regular breakup, okay? We've seen these things play out over and over, all over social media, all over TV shows. A breakup with a narcissist is like revenge, because he's gonna sit there and he's gonna contemplate the amount of time and energy he put into you, the amount of money he's invested into you, and trust me, it's not gonna go over well with him. You are looking at hell and cold water if you think you're gonna walk away scot-free in his mind after he did all of that for you. So it still boils down to him thinking, having the preconceived notion that you owe him and that it was all a business transaction. It was never out of love. It was never because you mean so much to him. You see what I'm saying? So like with narcissists, you can't look at everything from an emotional point of view. You have to think like them. Think like a man. Steve Harvey said it best. Think like a man. And then you will be able to maneuver well and dwell in your relationship with a narcissist. At the end of the day, the main priority or prerogative should be for you to be able to know how to talk to this man in a way that will sustain your ability to get what you want. You want to make sure that you're on top of his every move. You could predict him like the back of your hand. Okay? Or should I say you could read him like the back of your hand. Yeah, that sounds better. You want to make sure of these things, because with narcissists, you never know what's coming next. You may think you have him figured out, and then one day he just wakes up and he's feeling like, you know what, I need to take a risk. I need to do something risky. And oftentimes when they're feeling like that, it's coming towards you. It's coming directly towards you, because what? You're his biggest problem. He is always thinking of ways to conquer you, to break you, to belittle you, because he doesn't know how else to be with you other than to treat you that way. He doesn't know how else. If a narcissist ever breaks down and starts crying, it's not because he's brokenhearted or devastated, that he's hurt you so much and disappointed you so much. No, he's crying and breaking down because he feels like he's losing grip of you. And then that makes him feel less than a man. it is more so like a complex where his mental capacity doesn't allow him to see past the regular responsibilities of a man and the regular level of compassion of a man that should exude in relationships. No, his mind is more so like very narrow, very vain, very life is this way. I'm the man. I'm expected to do this. I'm expected to do that. And that's it. And you can't be mad at him for that, because subconsciously, somewhere along the line in his childhood, that's what he was taught. And then we live in a society today where society teaches men that men can't have feelings. They're supposed to be nonchalant. They're supposed to be providers. And they're supposed to just get over it, right? So when you consider those two diabolical aspects, it makes sense why narcissists behave the way that they behave, and there's no changing them. This is not a disease. This is not a mental health disorder. It's a personality disorder. Therefore, it's a part of who he is. Something triggered him to behave like that in life, and it's only up to him to address it. Nothing can stop him. Nothing can change him. And don't waste your time thinking that, oh, I'm going to be the one to change him because he loves me and I'm the best he's ever had. No. 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 If anything, you are literally hanging yourself when you try to put yourself on a pedestal before him. Let him put you on a pedestal. And the only way to do that is to remain the weak link in his eyes. You catch my drift? Are you catching my drift? Comment down below any questions you may have, okay? My name is Vanessa, and I was married to a narcissist for 13 years, and I have dedicated my channel to helping women understand the mental, verbal, physical, emotional abuse that you have to endure, and also how to get through it, to analyze it, to understand it. And if you know anybody that is going through such things that you may feel like could benefit from my channel, go ahead and tell a friend to tell a friend, and make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell to make sure you know every time I post a video. Now granted, I am not consistent. I'm sorry, I'm just not. I have a lot on my plate, but those of you that have been rocking with me for a very long time, you understand my schedule, you understand me, and I appreciate your patience. I appreciate your genuine support. And so yeah, we will continue to touch base on these topics as we go on, and I want women to understand that you are not alone. The biggest emotional strain for me when I was going through my separation is understanding that I'm not alone. Sometimes when you as a woman have to sit in your feelings, you have to force yourself to sit in your feelings and acknowledge your feelings for once, and stop ignoring them. Stop putting them to the side. Stop doing what is expected of you by everybody else around you, and put you first for once. Put your feelings first for once. Put your mental health first for once. When you finally get to that point and you understand that you can't, there's no going around it, you have to face it. And once I faced it, then I was able to see that there's so many other women out there that are going through the same things, and they have questions, and they're embarrassed to ask these questions. They're embarrassed to talk about their experience. They're embarrassed to admit that they're even in a relationship with a narcissist. They're embarrassed to even know that they allowed themselves to get involved with a narcissistic man. But I am the example. I am the influencer that's gonna sit here and let you know, like, no, you're not alone. Don't be embarrassed. You have nothing to be embarrassed about. It happens to the best of us. Narcissistic men, they thrive on women that are vulnerable. They thrive on women that seem weak. They thrive on women that seem dumb and delusional. And so it's a direct insult to you as a woman when you realize, like, oh my gosh, I really attracted a narcissist because he thinks that I'm dumb. He thinks I'm slow. He thinks I'm just this weak girl with no direction in life, and I have to depend on him and I need him. Like, he thinks I'm pathetic, and that's why he wants to be with me. And it's a harsh truth. Narcissistic men want to be with women that are dependent, that portray this pathetic storyline and this pathetic lifestyle. Oh, I can't survive without you, and I need a provider man, and I need, they like that stuff because what? It makes them feel powerful. Makes them feel powerful enough to come into your life and make some changes. And, they feel like they're your hero. But then they punish you for being the hero. And they punish you inadvertently, because at the end of the day, it's like, yeah, I'm gonna save you. I'm gonna do all the things that you want me to do, but it comes with a price. And that price is your emotional and physical and spiritual and mental. You catch my drift? It comes with a price. And granted, in all fairness, whether this man that you're involved with is a narcissist or not, in general relationships, all relationships endure some type of emotional trauma, some type of conflictual basis where gender roles are always an issue, communication is always an issue, trust is always an issue. There's so many different aspects that play a part into the down spiral of relationships today, right? But what it boils down to is there is no relationship that's happy-go-lucky, that's, oh yeah, my man is like my superhero and he worships the ground that I walk on and that's just it. No, there's always something behind it. There's always something behind the scenes that these women are not willing to admit, and they want to portray themselves as having the perfect relationship and perfect man, and we all know that to be unrealistic. So I say all this to say, don't be hard on yourself. Be fair to yourself, okay? There is nobody out there that is in a better situation than you are in. And if you are wise enough at the time of acknowledging the fact that you are with a narcissistic man and you choose to stay, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But my solid advice would be to you is to embrace your femininity while you're with this man, because it's literally going to save you long term, and it's the only reason you'll have a peace of mind moving forward with this man. Do not develop these rash, abrasive behaviors, these behaviors that are defensive, because you might as well just pack up and leave if that's what you're gonna do to this man, okay? It serves no purpose for you to behave that way. It serves it's not gonna help you in any shape or form to become combative with this man at all. At all. Because you're only going to trigger him into trying to hurt you more and try to belittle you more, because he thinks that that is the only way he's going to get you back in his grasp. Okay? It is literally all about control and power. So I hope this video helped you. Thank you for watching, and like I said, remember to hit that subscribe button. God bless.